Alrighty, so this is going to be coming out a day late because the patch got delayed by a day, and then there was, the new patch and everything like that for JP. The live stream and everything got announced today as of the time of me recording this. So I think much more of an important video. I try to do at least one video a day, and honestly, it's kind of meh at the moment. So I'm gonna kind of just spread some content out. We're gonna be doing this trying to do this as a fast clear. So the big thing to note here is that. Once we get up to around the Escanor point here at at floor 5, they start to revive quite a bit. I don't think that there was anything else like super crazy. Like you can see, the revives are quite relevant here. They start to do more damage to demons, which is understandable. I think demons are, probably probably some of the fastest teams that you can clear with, just because of the whole pierce rate cards and stuff like that, which they've also changed pierce rate to 0 and prevented it from being able to be increased. So we're going to go for like a weak point build here, kind of like a half Catastrophe, half Ragnarok team. I don't know how this is going to go. We're going to try to use this up until I can't use it anymore, just to see how it goes. We've got weak point on these two. And then we can get some pretty decent basic stats and stuff like that from the Brunhild debuffs, on top of, if we have to, we can resort to using Lilia for like strong just damage in general. So I think we should be fine with this team for at least, I would hope, at least 10 or more floors, and then normally it starts to, like, the passives will start to sort of add up and everything. I might have to make a couple of tweaks to the team, but we're going to use this. We'll show, I guess, this first one, and then I'll come back once we have to sort of make any sort of team edits or anything, but hopefully this one will last us for a decent little while. These Event Tower trials normally aren't too hard, and another thing to note is that we're just getting a lot of free rewards from these, so definitely worth doing for sure. But let's ideally we wouldn't have got, or like, I think in general we wouldn't have got 2 of these, so we're just going to go with what I would assume would be a decent turn 1 play here, which is very easy for turn 1. So I don't know, hopefully it stays like this for a little while. I'm just gonna keep working my way up through it and see how long it takes me to start to not be able to wipe first turn and everything. Okay, so really quickly, King had a revive, and even though I was still able to 1 turn, I think what I'm gonna do is swap over to green Sariel here and give Brunhild a different link, just for the pure fact that hopefully, I'm pretty sure before the attack goes off, you actually get the debuff, so hopefully I can use that to my advantage to get a little bit more weak point damage off, because the Brunhild card killed, and then he revived at full HP, and I didn't have a debuff on him to use like the full efficiency of the other weak point skill. So we're gonna try this. Obviously the green Sariel debuff and the dissolve debuff from Lilia will actually kind of counteract Brunhild's passive. They won't be able to place the other debuffs on at that point, but the whole idea is for fast clear, so I'm hoping that this will work out. I'm not positive if this is going to work how I think it should, but okay, he actually doesn't have any debuffs on at all. And it didn't, I think he just might be immune to debuffs in general. Luckily, we still killed there, so I'm going to try it with this setup a little bit longer. I guess I'll come back whenever we stop first turn clearing. Alrighty, so this Jude stage is really tanky. And a couple of stages ago, I would say around, I think it was the Jericho stage, so around stage 6, I think, they started to, the side units started to have a res, which definitely hindered me a bit there, because I have debuffs on. Actually, I think they cleansed my debuffs, which is actually really good for me. So we should be able to just use this, hopefully, and that will work. But this is the first turn, or first stage that I've had to 2-turn, which this actually looks like it's going to do good, yeah. But side units reviving definitely sucks a little bit. I'm not really sure what made this one so tanky, but if it's not going to be like a recurring thing, we might still be able to one-shot some of the future stages without having to swap my team up. But let's just see out of curiosity here. So increases skills, of course. Allies reflect 40% of damage taken. Can't target Jude, of course. Removes debuffs. Increases allies' HP by 100% for every debuff applied to the hero. So That's definitely what made them tanky. Is that going to be a recurring thing? It does not seem like it. So I think we should be okay. We're gonna continue with this team. I'm not gonna make any edits yet. The only thing that I've changed actually is I changed the Sario link over to Lilia because it was not proccing before she would attack, and so that way I can just do weak point AoE to hopefully clear off the revive that happens on the allies, and put a debuff on the middle unit, and then go in with the weak point. So that's the only thing I've done. Alrighty, so out of curiosity, I want to update really quickly. We're on, I can't remember exactly which stage this is even on, but we have a new stage effect that actually helps us quite a bit because I didn't even realize that I had an all-human team. Like, that wasn't even the purpose, but we have a stage attribute which is increases basic stats by 30% when all allies in the battle are the same race, and I'm assuming it's supposed to be helping them out, but because it's a stage attribute, it helps me out too. And then we also have decreases max HP of the hero who took down a target by 20%. So that's actually kind of troublesome, but honestly, with the basic stat increase and everything, I think we're pretty much good to clear most of this, like, very easily, because the last stage was Jericho and Gila, and I literally one-shot them with the first card that I used. So these stages should be going pretty well for the foreseeable future until some things change, of course. So yeah. Alrighty, so we've had this stage before, and this one is quite annoying because every time they lose debuffs, Denzel regains HP. I don't think Death Pierce regains HP or anything like that. No, maybe increases allies HP by 100% for every debuff applied to the hero. So kind of annoying more than anything. I think we shall... Ooh, we could go for the crit chance. Probably not the greatest idea. Let's just go for the 2 attacks here. I'm not sure how this is going to go. Okay, actually really good damage. She now has a corrosion stack on, though, so not great. I think we should still be okay, though, because with him gone, we should still be in a really good spot to kill the other one. Plus now we have an ultimate. So this one's taking 3 turns. I think they always end up sort of restricting, like, whatever the current, like, meta team is, of course, and then on top of that, at some point they're always like, okay, like, we know people are going to be debuffing a lot for, like, basic stats or whatever, like, whatever the current sort of I don't know, debuff related teams are. They kind of counter that a little bit, which last time we did this, it was a lot worse. So this one, I didn't actually have to change my team up at all, so that's definitely a good thing. But yeah, I guess we'll just keep on trucking for now because we're on stage stage 15. Okay, so we got 10 more to go after this. All right, so just another quick update. The side units are definitely getting a lot stronger. We're on stage 18 at this point. Luckily, a lot of the middle units at this point don't have the res, which is good. But the side units tend to survive a bit more, so I've been swapping it up and doing both of the weak point skills first, because normally one of them will end up surviving. I'm not sure if they're, like, rezzing each time or if they just literally only have a revive, but I don't know. This seems to be still working relatively well for, like, the one-shot turn 1. There was one stage earlier, I can't remember exactly which one it was, that they did survive, like, 2 or more turns. Or no, I think it was just 2 turns instead. I think it was the Simon stage, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't anything too crazy. I think it was just the fact that I used the normal setup that I was doing, which was the weak point, and then the Lilia AoE. But the Lilia AoE didn't do enough, and I still ended up having one more of the side units on the team, like, that were alive, and then the weak point it ended up just proccing the res on the middle unit. But at this point, they don't really have a res as much, so I don't know. Hopefully, we can continue with this trend, and maybe we'll be okay. He actually doesn't have one of the debuffs on the middle, so I think this is just going to be another one of those, like, kind of gimmicky thingies. But yeah, it seems to be still going fairly well, and we're almost at floor 20, so I don't know. We might be able to beat the entire thing with this team. We might not have to change it at all. All right, so we have another another sort of update. We're on stage 21. The big problem here is we have Power of the Goddesses, which is if the damage taken is greater than 50% of the hero's max HP when attacked, recovers 50% of damage taken. So that's definitely slowing me down here. I was almost able to do a first turn kill here. I went with, I looked at it first. I went with the Lilia AoE first because I knew that it wasn't going to do. Dang, I didn't know if she had a revive or not. Okay, actually decent, but she's going to recover quite a bit. Yeah, ooh, that's definitely kind of troublesome. But we're not going to be able to go for like mega damage. Maybe, I guess I could maybe try to swap over to Escanor, because if we can get rid of the side units first and then use Escanor to try to burst down the unit, we hopefully don't have to deal with we should be able to hopefully kill before they get the HP back. So I don't know. I think I can stay with this team, but maybe we do swap. Maybe we put Escanor in place of Lilia just to try to get it over with a little bit faster at this point. So let me try that really quickly. Can put Merlin on the link so that way we crit. There's also the other one is if we attack and we don't crit, they gain 10% defense related stats, I think it is. It's either defense or defense related stats, I want to say. I'm not sure if that one's going to be persistent though. Like I don't know if it stays for all of these stages or not. Let's check that. But I don't know. This isn't going too bad, honestly. The fact that I got up all the way to this point without having to change teams is pretty nice. Yeah, it decreases the enemy's defense-related stats. So, oh, actually, that's actually good for me? Well, I guess it's good for me if I don't kill. Or, like, if I don't crit. So, I'm not 100% on that. Maybe we go for this first. Weak point. I don't know if that's going to kill the side units or not. Okay, that did way more than I was expecting. Okay, it does kill the side units. I guess it just depends on if these middle units are going to have a res or not, which I would assume they probably do. Yeah. So... okay, well that literally resed them back to full, which I guess that makes sense because they res with 50%. And then they gain HP back, which luckily we got really good Escanor cards here, so I think we're gonna be in the clear, hopefully. Wow, I guess it just depends if we do too much damage or not. Okay, well, we did way more than we needed to. So, all right, looking good. I don't know if nothing changes, I'll come back on the last stage. Alright, we're hopping into the last stage here. The only one that was any sort of trouble was the Goddess Liz stage, and it was just because she kind of had the res. I was just doing a little bit too much damage each time, so they just kept kind of resing, or just gaining too much HP back, I would say, more than anything. So nothing too crazy. Does Ludo have any, like, wacky sort of things here? So no demons. He does have a res. Increases all allies' pierce rate by 15% at the start of the battle, if they take damage. Okay. Increases attack if he's alone. So ideally, we would need to try to get rid of him in the same turn. I've been doing something like this because more often than not, I'm able to kill the side units with these two moves. But okay, we still get it off, which is good. The res is kind of troubling here, though. Like, we should kill, but here comes the res and the revive. Oh, I did enough damage with the Scorch to kill him, actually. That was actually super nice. Okay, so we one turn the last phase, which is actually really surprising to me. So, yeah, honestly, that wasn't too bad. It took me, I've been recording since we started, and, it's taken a little under 35 minutes, which isn't too bad considering you're going through 25 floors of this stuff. And a lot of them are just kind of tedious, like just over and over and over again kind of things. Like, I don't know. I feel like we did it pretty fast considering, like, I would say 90% of those stages were like first turn clears. so I can't really complain too much there. But yeah, if you have any interesting team suggestions or anything for people down below, if maybe they're newer or just, you know, maybe are looking for something that can kind of clear fast, but maybe a little bit more free-to-play friendly, or just if you're using like the crazy new units, a lot of people, of course, have Escanor and maybe the new melee and everything. So I would say demons are probably off limits. Like, probably don't use demons, especially for these later stages, because of the whole, you know, 1,000% damage increase on them. But yeah, I don't know. If you have anything, let me know. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next one.